One. Hey everyone in Jocks Land, Hiram Johnson here, Presidential Director. Today I am with Julann Larson, and she is an Executive Director in our organization and has had great success in her coaching. She has a lot of coaches that like to work also. So today we are going over the sponsorship series still. Man, one of these days I'm going to be able to get that word out. But we are on day number 4. The first day was we were talking about how sponsoring affects your business. Second day, we were talking about filling your funnel. Yesterday was Tony, and she was talking about every client a coach and how to plant seeds. Today, we get to talk to Julann, and on a great subject and that she's really good at is awakening the why. Awakening the why, we have to do that with clients, but we also need to do that with coaches. And so I'm just going to turn that time right over to Julann and let her give her words of wisdom. Julann.
Thanks, Hiram. Hey, everybody. So as coaches, Optavia coaches, we know that in everything we have to lead with our own health. And so that applies with your why as well. So first of all, we need to make sure that we have our mindset clear on what our why is. So you can ask yourself just a few questions. Why did you start coaching? Why are you still coaching? And why are you going to continue coaching? And reevaluate now and again just to see, where your why is at. Because it also grows and expands and changes sometimes with life and what our needs are and as we learn and grow. So make sure that your why is clear and you have the right mindset. It's important to remember that a coach is a guide. So what does a guide do? A guide helps someone to find out where, their desired destination is, where they want to go, and then you help show them how to get there. So this is really important because then we can suggest routes and they choose the one that's best for them and we show them the way. The trick with helping someone to discover their why is helping them to see their desire to go there in the first place. So we all have a desire to be healthy and happy, to get the most out of life. So the bigger the why, the better, because that makes us more willing to work harder and do more to reach our goals. It also needs to be greater than our fears. This is why it's so important that we discover it for ourselves. The path of self-discovery and self-motivation is always the most powerful. So instead of assuming where their why is going to come from, we need to ask questions, and make sure that it's their why, not our why. So it does start with planting seeds. When we plant seeds, we need to plant a variety of seeds because we don't know where their why is going to come from. It could be any part of the trilogy, body, mind, or finances. Do they need accountability? Do they need monetary gain, or mostly personal development? We just don't know. So the more questions that we ask, the better, because it will help them to discover that for themselves as well. Once the seed takes root, we need to help them nourish and strengthen those seeds. This is done every time we connect with them. So the calls and messages and connections that we make are so important in this aspect because they may still be discovering their why, and we need to help them to see it. And a lot of that comes just in life. Life helps us to see the things that we need sometimes. So we need to be persistent also, but not too pushy. They need to know it's their decision and why they're doing it. And we have to be consistent. So, every time we talk with them, you can plant more seeds. You can nourish the seeds that have already been planted. And then when they're ready, they'll see the possibilities and want to start. So put on your coach glasses when you talk to your clients. Make sure yours are clear because theirs will probably be all scratched up and foggy. So even if we can see a need and try to point it out to them, they might not be able to see it. So what we need to do is help them clear their glasses, and that's more questions. Give them plenty of time to answer your questions because they may not know the answer right away. Let them think about it. It's okay. Don't be afraid of silence because you may interrupt their thoughts and their vision that way. So also, don't worry if they don't have the answers to your questions when you're talking to them because maybe life will show them later on what those answers are. So open the doors and windows, and we don't know, how many there are going to be or how often. So as soon as you can see that they're ready to take one of those doors or windows, help them through it. So that's pretty much it.
I love it. It was perfect. That is so true. So for me, one of the things that I always want to do is I want to make sure that I give plenty of reasons for somebody to want to coach. So for instance, Julann, why did you want to start coaching?
I think for the most part, we needed the monetary gain so my family could be healthy, honestly. And it was hard for me to grasp that in the beginning because in a way I felt guilty. Like, is this right? But there's no better reason, to help people. And it was mostly for my family. But as we progressed, the accountability part came into play big time. We wouldn't have gotten this far had we not been coaching. And I know that. And I think I knew in the beginning that because I yo-yoed so much, I didn't want to go back and it would help me not go back. So that was a big part of it too.
So there's lots of different reasons for wanting to coach. Some is accountability, some is money, some is to help other people, some is to help a family member, which you've helped a lot of your family members. And I loved seeing your family tree, how it's growing but shrinking at the same time. So it's so fun. So really, it really is the key. I love it. Great job. And everybody, we'll see you tomorrow for a 5 to 7 minute presentation. Bye-bye.